Shine to Inspire is a podcast aimed at listening and responding to the voices of our team and our community. Wellness, education, and entrepreneurship will be at the forefront. Whatever the topic, we hope to inspire because we are one team, one shine, and no voice will be left behind. Now let's get into the real and relevant. Hey fam, welcome to the second edition of Shine to Inspire, where our commitment is to keep it real and relevant all the time. Andre is sitting with 6 amazing entrepreneurs and business owners in recognition of November being National Entrepreneurship Month. Grab your tea, grab your water, whatever it is you want to drink, and let's listen in.
So guys, welcome. Thank you all for coming out. As you see here, we have a lot of young, successful, up-and-coming Black entrepreneurs in the room. Just want to start off just getting to know you guys. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I'm going to start over here with you, Rod. Tell me about yourself here.
I'm Rod from Alabama. I moved to Atlanta a year ago and just specialize in daiquiris and good spirits.
Okay, daiquiris and good spirits. I like that. Okay, Kelly, tell me about yourself.
I moved here a year and a half ago myself. I'm new in the city.
Okay. All right. Now, what about yourself, Keegan?
I'm born and raised here in Atlanta.
ATLian, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. What part?
East End.
But now, anybody from Atlanta is always going to say what part.
Yes.
I'm from the East. Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm Jasmine. I was born and raised in Atlanta, the
Okay.
west side.
West side. Okay.
And I'm an owner of Black Vendor Expo.
Oh, nice. Okay. Mr. Tory.
My name is Tory. I am from Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised. I've lived all parts of Atlanta.
Love it.
And I'm the owner of Elite Media Studios.
Okay.
My name is Chad. I'm from North Carolina, and I've been in Atlanta for Georgia for 2 years. A year now. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Okay. Well, you guys have a lot of different businesses, a lot of brands. I just want to know, the biggest question is, why did you get started? So I want to start over here with Tory. Why did you get started?
Okay. I got started for a couple different reasons. One, I got started because I had to. I needed additional source of income, and I didn't want to work for anybody. So I pretty much prayed and asked for a vision to start a business. And pretty much I started to learn design, graphic design, videography, photography, and I started the business. And once I started it, I realized people needed it.
Okay.
So my goal was to help the need that was needed in the community.
Very good. What about yourself, Rod? Why did you get started?
I got started because I like to see people having a good time. And most of my friends are women. They like nice drinks and they like good alcohol, but they don't want that harsh taste of alcohol. So I got started with a good classic drink, pretty drink, but also a good taste.
I like that.
That's good.
Very good, by the way. You see, we're drinking some of these wonderful beverages right here. So come get you some. So just talking about this, Kelly, tell me about your concept. What is your concept? And tell me a little bit about your job. I know you've mentioned something about like an esthetician.
Yes. Like I said, I started being inspired by my aunt.
Okay.
And I just like for people to feel good about themselves.
Nice.
Some people have low self-esteem about their skin, and blackheads that when I do waxing, so I just want to make them feel good about themselves.
Good. Now, for people who don't know what an esthetician is, could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, it's a person that specializes in skin and waxing.
Okay.
It's different, numerous of things that they do.
And you said you are licensed in that. Is that correct?
I am.
Awesome. Tell us about that process. What did you have to do to make that happen?
Well, you have to attend a class for say 6 to 9 months.
Okay.
You have to also get hours in.
Wow.
You have to do hands-on with facials. It's so many credits you have to have, and so many facials you have to get done to graduate.
Awesome. So guys, as you can see, there's a lot of things you have to do in order to get started, and all these people are working at the same time at our store. So very impressive. Just want to talk to you, Keegan. Tell me, what is your concept and how did you get started?
I just love music. I love everything about every piece of art that goes into creating the final products that we see and hear on the radio or wherever you consume your music at. It's just the whole process of it is just like a whole journey in itself.
Okay, awesome. Jasmine, tell me a little bit about it. How did you get started?
We started Black Vendor Expo actually during the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
And it was July 2020. And we began because it was a need. A lot of people were getting laid off and starting their own businesses, but didn't know where or how to showcase themselves. So we created the Black Vendor Expo to bring all of those businesses together, to give them a spotlight, to showcase themselves, to sell their products, to get the information out there. And now we host them every month. We've had them every month since July 2020.
Wow.
So we just had our 2-year anniversary. In total, we have spotlighted 1,400 Black-owned business, different Black-owned businesses. We do have people that repeat monthly, but the different businesses that we've had come through was 1,400.
Really?
So we have 75 vendors every month.
Where are these usually located at? Just?
Off Fulton Industrial.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
we have it on Fulton Industrial every month.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yes.
So, just Chad, tell me a little bit about how did you actually get started doing what you're doing?
So for me, it was like a moment of clarity for me. When my brother passed, it like gave me.
Sorry to hear that, by the way.
Thank you. It gave me like this vision of life is short, so do what you want to, with your life, and do something that you want, like that makes you that you're compassionate about. So for me, it was clothing and styling and the way you can change somebody's mood with just an outfit, or how you can read somebody's outfit, or how they're feeling. So it's just not like oh, let me put on this, or let me do this detail.
I like that. Now, Tory, tell me, how did you choose what you decided to get into? How did you choose that?
It kind of chose me.
I can see that. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have a passion for what I do when I started, but I was always a creative. Just didn't know how to put it together. And once I started to play around with it and study and learn it, it kind of chose me and what people needed. So I realized when I started, a lot of people needed graphic design. That was about 10 years ago when that wasn't a big thing to have that. But when social media came out, it became a big thing. So it started there, and when I started graphics, I realized people didn't have great pictures to put on the graphics. So I went back and I learned photography.
Awesome.
And didn't have a passion for it, did it because it was a need. Then we went into videography as well. So all these things kind of chose me.
I like that. I like that. Moving on to you, Rod. Just want to ask you, how did you get started? Because a lot of people have these conceptions about starting a business is going to cost lots of money and lots of, turmoil. But how did you actually get started in this?
I got started just in my kitchen. With some things. Mainly, I got started with Kool-Aid because Kool-Aid gives flavor and it gives good color.
Gotta love Kool-Aid.
I started with that, and then I got food stamps, so I didn't have to spend no money.
Okay.
And I mean, I didn't have any money to get started, so I did have food stamps.
I love it.
So I went to the store, I bought that stuff, and then I already had liquor in the house. We didn't have no money, but I had money to buy liquor. and there it went. And then, next thing I had that and a blender and some ice, and I had drinks. And so I had people having a good time drinking good drinks.
Fantastic. I love that. Kelly, tell me, how did you get started?
Well, one day me and my aunt and my grandma was sitting in the living room, and my grandma complimented me on looking nice. And my aunt said she always looked nice. That's why I always thought she should be an esthetician. So I didn't know what that word means. So I asked her what it means. She told me. So I was like, I do my own lashes. I do be looking good. So I decided to go look up on it. First of all, I read up on it first to make sure I understood what it meant and was that something for me. So it had all the qualities like lashes, eyebrow tint, and eyebrows. So I was like, yeah, that's me. So I read up on it. I called the school. I got in class immediately, and I ended up getting my esthetician license.
I like that. So one of the important things I heard you say is you did your research.
Right.
So I think
Yes.
people around getting in this business, they need to know do your
Absolutely.
research.
Mhm.
Tell me
Most
about that
things.
too, Jasmine.
My research.
Yeah, well, tell me how you got started. Let's talk about how did you get started?
Well,
doing what you
we
do?
got started. Actually, my sister came to me, who is also my business partner,
Okay.
and she had just started a clothing company called the Mummy Mafia, and she actually just wanted to do one pop-up shop for mothers that owns businesses. And so I was just like, in my world, you bring an idea to me, I'm going to make it 10 times bigger than what you want.
Yes.
And so I was like, well, it's a time where a lot of people need these things, not just mothers, like all of us. And so I said, let's make it a whole thing for the community. And so it went from one small pop-up shop to now a full-blown business of having expos every single month.
Wow.
And it was actually a need that was, it needed, the community needed this. And so every month when we have them, it's just like a milestone reached. Like we count every month as if it's the first expo, honestly, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do it. Even though we give them this platform, we couldn't have this platform if you don't show up.
That's very true.
So, and that's not just the vendors, also the attendees. We have probably about 500 attendees every single month. So it's a really good space for the Black community.
Okay. Awesome. This question I have is going to be a little bit for all of you guys, but I'm going to kick it off with you, Keegan. Tell me about the hardest thing and the best thing about trying to get into what you want to do as far as entrepreneur. Just tell me the hardships and the good and the bad and ugly.
What specifically for me?
Yes, for you in your business.
The hardest part about making music is, especially nowadays, that the culture is like, as we move further and further along, as we advance, like the culture shifts more rapidly. And so, and people's attention span gets tighter and tighter. So
All the time, yeah. I can see that.
the hardest part is just really just staying on top of what people want
Just keeping relevant.
and
Huh?
finding that balance. And with being an artist, you have to find that balance with making sure you're actually making something that you want to make.
So it's keeping true to yourself too with it and being relevant. I can see that. Yeah.
So basically, but the best part about making music is just basically like the payoff that you would get when like people like what you make.
I can only imagine just people coming to you just saying, I really felt that song that you did, that verse, and just really hitting home for them.
Yeah.
That could make a big difference. Yeah. Chad, I'm gonna kick it over to you. Tell me about the hardest and the best, most rewarding part of being that fashion stylist.
I would say the hardest part is feeling like you have an outfit for the person and they don't like it.
Yeah.
I would say that I think another thing for me would be like it was paying attention to detail. Like for me, it's not something that you want somebody to wear. It's something that they feel comfortable wearing as well. So I think that was a big change for me. Because some people don't know how to step out of their comfort zone and what they already like. So styling someone else that you might not know how to do it, so that might be different. Or the hard part. I think the good part would be learning from your mistakes.
Okay.
Of course, you never want to put somebody out there and say, oh, okay, Chad styled that and it look a mess. So I would say, definitely learning from mistakes and just keep being consistent.
Okay. Jasmine, tell me, hardest and best.
The hardest part is, honestly, it takes 30 days to prepare for each expo. Even though it's only one day for about 5 hours, it actually takes 30 days to prepare for this. So the hardest part is just staying, I would say just staying focused, honestly, because I do have other businesses that I'm running. So I like to treat each business as if it's my only business.
That's right.
And this one is a bit more time consuming than the others, and it's just for one day. So,
Yes.
so I think it's just giving it as much attention as my other business. But the most rewarding part, of course, is each expo, having the vendors come to me and say, this is my first expo. I made more than I thought I would. I got more advice because they get together and they speak to each other. They're sitting here for hours at a time. So to just learn things from each other, connect with each other, help each other. So to just see vendors excited at the end, that's the most rewarding part.
So what I did get from that, y'all, is planning, preparation, and focus.
Yes.
A lot, right?
Yeah.
Rob, what about yourself?
For me, most rewarding part is behind every drink. I didn't disclose that, but behind every drink is my business called Friend Zone. So each one of my drinks replicate one of my friends. Each flavor is a different friend.
Okay.
So I try to give people. I try to read them, and then they say, "Well, what's the best one?" And as talking to them, I try to read everybody. So I'm like, "Okay, you might be this type, so you try this right here." Trying to match it up. The hardest part is just trying to maintain the flavors. I want to keep consistency. I don't want you to. If you taste the pineapple, I want the pineapple to taste the same every time you come back.
Right.
I don't want it to taste different. You said, well, last time I had it was stronger. This time I had this.
Yes.
I want it to be a consistent flow. So when you come back, you get the same drink. You get the same thing when you go to the store. If you was buying it from the store.
So you see, guys, what we got from that consistency, right? Consistency is very important in business, right? Kelly, what about yourself?
I say the hardest part is like making sure you keeping the clientele, making sure I can answer every question my client has, because there's 1,000 questions they ask, and they want you to have the right answer because they want to trust you. And I say the best part is making every client smile, making sure they come back.
Oh yeah.
Making sure I'm still their favorite esthetician.
I like that. So I'm here and being a student of the game for you. I can definitely hear that, right? I'm gonna cap it off with you, Tory.
I'll say the hardest part is the motivation, staying motivated. As a 10-year business owner, done it by myself, for this long.
Yes.
You have to be your main encourager. And a lot of times when you're dealing with business day to day and dealing with our people sometimes, it makes you want to just throw everything out the door.
Oh yes.
And quit sometimes. But the motivation piece is sometimes the hardest. Getting up and saying, I got to do this again, because there's nobody, when you own it on your own,
Nobody to tell you to get
nobody to tell you to get up, nobody to tell you to answer the phone, nobody to tell you to get the emails, to check this. You have to do it on your own.
Yes.
And that for me, it's been the hardest part, but it's also been the thing that's built me. I don't wait for somebody to tell me what to do or how to do it. I understand at this point, I'm the only person that can do that for myself. So motivation can sometimes be the hardest part, but it's always at the same time your biggest pusher and motivation.
So I'm gonna call that motivation and resiliency.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that right there is gonna be key.
Yes.
So guys, we got people in here that want to possibly get into your business one day. They got a lot of trials and tribulations. They probably think they can't do this. What advice would you have for people out here that's trying to crack into this kind of industry, trying to do what you do? I'm gonna start off with you, Chad. What advice do you have somebody that wants to be a fashion designer?
I would say be you. When with like fashion, of course you have to speak through yourself. So if sometimes I don't even want to put, I just want to throw on some joggers. Like today I would have put me on the joggers and be like, okay, let me go here about my business. But you gotta, look the brand. I can't want to style you and I got holes in my shirt, or you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you I'm a stylist. It don't make sense. So I would say you just gotta stay motivated. Like you said, like be you, be different, because that's what you need now, being different. So.
Kelly, tell me, what kind of advice do you have for
I would say never give up.
Okay.
If it takes you 1,000 times, keep trying.
I love it. Okay, Jasmine.
I would say don't wait until it's perfect. Go ahead and start.
I like that.
Never let a lack of tools create a lack of faith.
Ooh.
My number one line, and I actually started my.
Gotta pat that line right there.
I actually started my clothing company with this slogan of hustle by faith, not by sight. So hustle by what you know in yourself you can do, and not the things that you have to prepare for this. Go ahead and start. You'll get everything you need along the way. All you need to do is just start.
Like that. Perfect. Tell me about that, Rod. What kind of advice do you have somebody that wants to get into this nice daiquiri business right here?
Don't let your financial means stop your dreams.
There you go.
Because if it was that, I wouldn't have done it because I didn't have the money to go out and purchase the things that I needed. And then once I start getting the clientele and the business, and when I was doing it, I didn't still have the money to keep up with the flow. I started letting the business pay for itself. Like I needed a freezer. I let the drinks buy their own freezer. I said I wasn't going to invest any money. I did the startup, so I did not let the business start to take care of itself. So don't let your financial means determine where you're going.
Okay. Keegan, tell me, advice. Somebody trying to get into that music.
Basically, piggybacking on what I said earlier, like just finding that balance in making something that you want to make and you want to like listen to yourself, and making something that the general audience will want to hear or will be able to relate to as well.
Okay, so you listen and say, would I want to hear this? I like that. Tory?
I'll say do your homework and don't skip steps. I realize with what I do, that people see my business and they think that I could just say, you can do it tomorrow. And because people now, we live in a generation that, microwave generation, where people think it just happens. But I realize that's the failure of most of us sometimes, is that we just want to get it now.
Right.
You can't skip the steps, and you have to know what you're doing. A lot of times when I take people through my process, I'm like, okay, let's go to step one. And then we can start, but no one wants to start at step one.
Right.
You got to take the steps and start at one. Get your incorporation. Do the things that you get your business bank account. Get your the things that you need first, and then start after that.
Right.
And that's just my advice. Just definitely take your time. Do it right. Don't skip steps.
I like that.
Can't cheat the process. And we want to cheat it. We cannot cheat the process.
Trust it, not
I like that.
Yes,
I like that.
that's right. It's gonna fail you every time.
Gotta get the foundation right.
Trust for me.
Trust. Okay, so we got some wonderful stuff here. Just tell me, what is the one thing that you hope the watchers and listeners can get from this interview we have here? And I'm going to start off with you, Jasmine. What's the one thing?
The one thing I hope that you get is that you are able. You are able.
Okay.
There are plenty obstacles, and no matter how far along you are, how seasoned you are in it, there will be obstacles.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
And you can't let those things deter you. You can't worry about what people think, how they view you. You're going to get better the more you continue.
Totally.
Discipline is the number one thing. Even if you start something, you're just starting a business, as a business owner, you have to have discipline. Because as Tory said, it's just you. It's just you. There's no one clocking your time. You don't have a time sheet. You don't have a clock in. You don't have a clock out. And sometimes it is all day. Sometimes it's from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep.
Every day.
And
Every day.
it's just, you have to stay determined. You have
that.
to stay determined in the entrepreneurship game.
Gotcha.
And I mean, I've done things to keep my consistency in, even outside of business. Like I make sure I go to the gym daily. You do things to build your discipline, not just in the business. So, but you are able to do these things. Just because you feel like, oh, I'm a lazy person, I couldn't do that, I would need somebody to tell me to do this. You can shift these things. So it's just all on what you want to do, but you have it in you.
You got it in you. I believe that. I believe that. Rod, same question.
Do what you like doing, and do it because you want to do it. Wealth is great, but comes in many different ways. Wealth is not just money. I don't do this just to make money. I do it because I like doing it. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy when people taste my product and they tell me how good it is. That's that pat on the back for me. So that's partially my wealth. Making the money part, that's just internal revenue. Internal revenue inside my house. But I'm not doing it just for money. I'm doing it because people feel good, and I feel good when I like compliments. I'm a compliment hog.
Okay.
So that's why I do it.
Kelly, take us home. Tell us some more.
I say be determined. Make sure that you, like she said, accept and everything come with it. Got this one. Because it's going to be some days you give up. I think about when I moved up here a year and a half ago. I don't know anybody here. And then I'm trying to get my business out. So I was like, oh, where I'm, you know. So I'll say stay determined.
Okay. Keep the course, yeah. Stay the course. Well, guys, this has really been awesome. You guys have told us a lot of information. What are the social media handles that you guys have if people want to hear more about your business? They want to learn a little bit more about you. I'm going to start off with you, Rod.
Mine is more personal. Most of the people that I deal with, I just generally give them my information.
Okay, so that's the best way to get in contact with your information. Is there information you'd like to share right now for anybody out here looking that wants to get in contact with you?
You can just reach me on my phone. Phone number is 334-303-0191. Just text me or call me. I take all calls all time of night.
Okay.
All time of the day, rather. I'm always up at night.
Gotcha.
Ooh, that's cool.
I'm on Facebook and IG.
Okay.
My Facebook is Maria. I got two Facebooks.
Okay.
The one is Maria Samuel, and the second one is Kelly Lawrence.
Okay.
Also on IG, I'm at Kels Luscious.
Kels Luscious. All right. Thank you. What on you, Keegan?
You can just Google my rap name.
Okay. Tell us the rap name. We didn't hear the rap name.
My artist name is Ugly KGB.
Ugly KGB. Now, was there a meaning behind that? Tell me what does that mean? Help me out on this one.
It's a lot. It's actually a lot. Okay, so
We had to sit up on this.
I want to say it's like 3 different factors.
Okay.
One, like, okay, so when I was in like 7th grade,
Okay.
my friend just like gave me the nickname KGB out of nowhere.
Okay.
And like, so when I initially started rapping, it was just KGB. But
Okay.
like, it was too many people with that name. Plus, the Russian government stuff.
Okay.
It was weird. So I had to change my name. And at the time, my Instagram name was Ugly KGB. So it kind of just worked itself out.
Okay. So it's caught on. Mr. Ugly. Introducing Ugly KGB. All right. Jasmine.
I can be reached on Facebook, Instagram, and our website. It is all Black Vendor Expo.
Okay.
The website is blackvendorexpo.com.
Okay. Tory.
You can reach me on all platforms.
Okay.
On Instagram, I'm Tory Elite, Tory Elite.
Okay.
You can reach me at my website, www.elitemedia.studio, no.com. And also, you can reach me on Facebook, Tory Brown.
All right.
For me, you can reach me on IG at Davis, Davis, kid with 4 Ds and an underscore. And my business email is chaddavis14@gmail.com.
All right. Well, there you guys have it. The Shine to Inspire podcast brought to you by Team Shine. Just thank you all for coming out. And all you guys have really rocked it out. So I appreciate you all.
Wow. Talk about keeping it real and relevant. I don't know about you, but I am inspired. And for those of you thinking about starting a business and you just don't know where to turn, follow us on IG at Shine to Inspire ATL, where we will have a whole host of resources for you to explore. And remember, no voice left behind.